and Big Sis Keish here. We are talking about fear
Fear.
this segment. And this is something that me and Big Sis been talking about quite some time now. We talk about this all the time, actually.
Fear.
All the time.
Yes.
Because we always ask, what you scared of? You know?
But we all have fear.
We do. We do.
And even when we think we're not scared, most of the time we are.
Yes. You know, a thought came to my mind last night. Well, actually, it was early this ride, and I was going over my notes, sis. And what did I put? I put in my notes ways. What was it? Ways to release fear. And it was a thought of mine with the sun rays, because I remember sitting outside one day, and the sun was like beaming so bright on me, like a flashlight almost. And I was like, "Damn, why these sun all in my face?" But then I realized later on when I started to do like mirror work, there was like a part of me that needed to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And it was almost like the sun was like illuminating that aspect of me. I was like, oh my God, this is one of the fears that I had. And the sun was just shining it on there so I could release it.
Right.
So I just thought I'd share that because that's a good way to release. Get you some sun.
Well, think about when we were kids, we were fearless.
We were.
If I think about me as a child,
we didn't have no
fear.
limitations or anything that made us afraid.
None. It made it so weird that when I got older, and I just started the journey through life. Now we grew up with Ronald McDonald. He was everywhere.
He used to be actually an actual clown in McDonald's and stuff.
That's my time frame.
They was taking it away when I came.
Yes, I know. But around the time where I was about 5, Ronald McDonald and all he was everywhere. They had statues of him.
Mm-hmm.
They had clowns dressed up, walking around. McDonald's had birthday parties.
I remember that. I used to be scared of clowns.
And it had a playground in it. And McDonald's was pretty big. But then as I got older, I started running into people who were scared of clowns.
I was one of them.
Really?
I was.
I couldn't so when stuff scares people that I can't associate with, I try to find where the fear is.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't find it in the clown.
Okay. Well, for me, I do remember being very little, and it's this thing called the Peanut Festival. I'm from Sylvester, Georgia. We are the Peanut Festival, well, peanut capital of the world. And there were clowns. There were all kind of dressed up people and stuff like this. This clown thought it was funny to chase my behind all around. I didn't think that was funny. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, oh, don't do that. That was scaring me. And I was a little kid. But the older that I got, I was like, okay, why am I afraid of the clowns? Really? And I delved even deeper. I had seen a documentary, Killer Clown.
Yeah, I seen Killer Clowns in that one.
Space. Yeah, and
I seen the documentary about the guy who dressed up as a clown, kind of like the thing called It.
Yeah, that scared a lot of people, but I had to realize they ain't nothing but a bunch of people with makeup on. Because I was putting on makeup one day, and I was like, "Motherfucker, you look like a clown right now."
So we did clown face in one of my makeup classes. We did clown face. We did a form of old school clown face. It didn't scare me, but shadows in the dark when I was asleep would scare me when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but doing some of the things that we wouldn't do now, like it's funny because I sit and I think about swinging on a swing when I was a kid and how high I could get.
Yes.
Okay, you get me on a swing now and I start to be like the equilibrium.
Yeah.
So what I started to realize is as we get older and we're programmed, we've developed fear. And even in things that we didn't have a fear in, if we don't do them often, we develop a fear.
Would you say also us like experiencing something that brought upon fear?
Yeah.
Because say like, for instance, I know a few people that are afraid to drive due to
car accidents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the experience can definitely.
I had one car accident that I was in, and I've been in a few, but they weren't mine. They were me riding with somebody like when I was a kid, or The one that brought me a feeling was a car accident I was behind the wheel. Remember that, I think it was you who asked me about the tunnel.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
The underground tunnel. We were in that tunnel.
Okay.
And during rush hour, that tunnel gets backed up. That's why I say I don't understand why people get scared in it, because we drove that tunnel often.
Maybe it's because it's in the
They could have
water.
been claustrophobic. I mean, I really didn't think about it being underwater, because if you've ever been in a tunnel,
Yeah.
it looked like a tunnel.
Just a tunnel.
Yeah,
I
so
got you.
any
Yeah.
tunnel.
Yeah.
And I watched this accident happen. Like, I watched it happen. I was sitting there, we weren't moving. I got what I tell my daughter last night, an inkling.
Slow motion?
No, so this is how it happened. I'm sitting there, we went forward, we stopped. Okay, we all stopped. And I looked in the rear view mirror, and behind me, I said, oh my God, that car's not gonna stop.
Oh my goodness.
And there's literally no place to go. You can't correct and try to move over here because you can't change lanes in the tunnel. It's too tight. I just sat there. So I wouldn't get whiplash. I did brace myself, and he hit me from the back and tore my trunk from the bottom, because his car, I think it went under mine, but it pushed the bottom of the trunk all the way like that. So my trunk was still workable, but I don't know. I don't know. But after that accident, I had a military soldier pull up beside me and was like, move. And I'm looking at her like, you know what? Like, what sense does it make for you to tell me I'm holding up the tunnel when this dude back here just hit me? You could see he had his airbag had exploded. There was powder everywhere. I went back there and I made sure he was okay. You see what I'm saying? But she's yelling, move. And I get it. I looked like at the time what they would have considered an infidel, or I mean, not an infidel, a terrorist. That's what they were
okay, you had your
yes, I all covered up. Okay.
I was like, why she said that to you?
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm still human.
Right.
Okay. Not, hey, are you okay? Can we help you? Can we help get your vehicle out of there? It's move.
Yeah, you saw people's true colors
like, you know, had I not been covered, you would have said something different, maybe. But if not, you don't know who I am and what I know about what you're wearing.
Come on now.
You see? So therefore, I let it go. Sometimes I let things slip off of me. I don't have time to be dealing with you. I got to get this dude and me out of the tunnel, because it is already rush hour and we're stuck in this daggum tunnel. After that, I didn't know what anxiety felt like, but I was driving this little car and this car drove up on the back of me. And automatically I got this feeling that washed over me. And I was like, what the heck is this? Fear. Anxiety is a form of fear. When you think too far in the future and you get stuck there talking about something, how am I supposed to do that? How am I going to do this? Why can't I do that? Why doesn't my life look like this? Why doesn't that? Why?
Yes, it's because I had the same issue, car accident in the rain. And of course, coming to Texas, everybody drive different around here. When it rains, it seems like people want to go even faster. And so I had a whole panic attack because they were going so fast and my car was like sliding. I was like, I literally hyperventilated. I had to pull over.
I feel bad now because I'm one of those people who speed up in the rain.
I couldn't. It was too much for me, and I had to call out work that day because it was just too much. Like, why are you going so fast? Like I just.
So I didn't cry. I did have a borderline anxiety attack where you get that washed feeling of emotion, and you don't know if you're gonna get sick or cry. And I sat there. No, I had to think about that feeling first. What is this? That's the first thing that came to mind. What is this? And why is it there?
Yeah.
And then I remember a girl that I was in school with explaining what anxiety felt like, anxiety attacks. And I was like, that's what that is? Oh no, we'll never have one of those again. We're not doing that again. And after that, no. But fear can be crippling.
It definitely can. It definitely can, because I wrote down a few things that fear could cause you, whether it's physical, whether it's behavioral, where even your emotions. Like sis said, anxiety, worry, irritability. You have impaired judgment at that moment, mood swings, disturbed perception, doubt, delaying a decision due to fear of a wrong choice. And far as physical, sleep disturbance, because I did have some of that at one point as well. Muscle tensions and
fear will stop everything.
Everything.
So fear can bring up every negative emotion inside of you that there is.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
It's not even the question of why does it do that? What are we scared of?
Yes.
That's the purpose of this video today. What are we scared of? What is there for us to fear? Mm-hmm. People who follow the books, they say that the only thing they're supposed to fear is the creator. That you got to be able to put your whole trust in the creator to just fear the creator.
Yeah.
But why would you fear a positive, understood entity? What is there to fear in that? So then they built a negative side. Mm-hmm. And that was to enforce fear.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
that's how they control.
But when you have these feelings of anxiety and worry and misunderstood feelings, that at the end of the day is fear.
It is.
Sit for a moment.
Please do. Please sit with yourself.
And contemplate that fear. And ask yourself, now this is not for you to make bad decisions with. Okay, I gotta put that out there because I can already see where somebody could utilize this to make a bad decision.
Yes.
If you have the financial capabilities, always pay your bills and all your stuff on time. It'll keep you from experiencing some of these things. But in a day and age like today, knowing that fearmongers are on the television, and they're pushing to tell people that the money issues, the this, that, and the other, start to see the web of illusion that has been drawn for us, okay? Especially here in the United States. I mean, we prided ourselves on material things, so we fought hard to have them, because how do you know if somebody's rich?
You don't.
You think you look at the material things and you think that proves that they are rich. But what I'm starting to find out is that the more materials people have that are really flashy and over the top,
the more they covering up their fears.
The more they're covering up their fear and their lack thereof.
I can see that.
Okay.
You can definitely see that.
And it doesn't mean that they're lacking money, but they're lacking something, because all the material abundance is for show. That's it. And if it's not for show, then the person is quiet about what they have. It's not, I have to tell the world I just bought a new house. I have to tell the world that I just got a new car. I have to tell the world that I just got these new leather pants. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. Yeah. When that's your regular way of doing things, you can tell the levels of understanding. Fear of not being able to pay your bills is a time for you to sit down and reflect.
Come on now, reboot, sis.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to sit there and we're going to reflect on it. You're going to go all the way back to, why am I scared of this?
Yes.
Where is this feeling coming from?
Yes.
Why am I? Because my stomach gets warm. People say that that's supposed to be the positive. For me, my stomach starts to get warm and it starts to get all hot.
That's how you know fear is there.
Feeling, yeah.
For me, I can feel it right here. It's
okay.
Like heavy feeling. I was like, what is this? I don't want this. And one thing I tell fear, you don't have no control here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you tell me what to do.
I have to figure it out. I have to sit there and I have to really, that's why I said for some people sit and contemplate it. I have to sit there, I have to find out why. I remember I was younger and we were having money problems, but of course we were having money problems. We weren't taught how to deal with money.
Yeah.
We were having money problems and the first bill collector called and it caused problems, stomach. You look at your significant other and you be like, you said that you was going to take care of the bills. Why are the bills not taken care of? Now I got to call my parents again to borrow money and they're going to be looking at me like you don't know how to be an adult.
Yeah.
Which I didn't.
We've been there.
But we didn't know how to be adults, right? Yeah. So at that point in time, you get this worry, this well. And I sat back and I was like, this was my logic at the time. I'm not saying that it's going to work for everybody. I said, if I was dead, they wouldn't be able to get their money from me.
I've heard that before by my uncle.
So this was how I rationalized it at the time. So I was like, they'll be okay.
I mean,
and when they get the money, they'll get the money. But right now we don't have it. And it helped me get myself through a lot of situations because I said, well, when people die, you don't get paid
at all.
You see what I'm saying? And then I started to ask myself, okay, so if it's people that die every day.
Come on, sis.
And those bills aren't getting paid, then who's paying them?
Either just sitting there collecting dust or they just pass it along.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't really sit and contemplate our fears. We're scared. It's misunderstanding. It's a feeling we don't like, but we lash out against others instead of locking ourselves in a room and saying, I'm not coming out until I figure this out. So that's how I rationalized with fear during that time frame. Now I stop.
So okay. I mean, we all in the same boat, including them. You trying to collect money from me, you need your bill collector calling you. Get off my phone.
Well, what we didn't know is that once the bill collector starts calling you, the bill's already been paid.
Yeah, I learned that along the way too as well, sis.
The bill's already been paid. They're a third-party company that's trying to collect their money back from you because they already paid the bill. Well, if you got
I didn't pay you, baby.
Look, if you got the money to pay the bill, you already paid it. What am I paying you for?
Come on now. I don't owe you nothing.
Don't use this to your advantage, but just know that there are things that society has built a web or an illusion around, and we take it as imperative. So they connected fear-monger understood activities tied to things it's almost like parents.
Yes, it is. It is. It definitely is.
Your parents put the fear of them in you so that you wouldn't test the boundaries.
At all.
But we still did.
We did. We did. I'll never get the first time I said my first cuss word in front of my mama. Oh, I was so scared. She looked at me like, you can cuss, but you better not say that shit to me. I was like, okay, because she had them hands. Okay. I didn't want that smoke. That's all. I did not want that smoke, sis. I don't cuss at my mom at all.
It used to, curse words slipped out of my mouth, but they didn't feel right then. They didn't feel, well, yeah, when I got a little bit older, they did. It was a very good way of me to express myself and let you know how mad I am, because my word knowledge at the time wasn't as grandiose as it is now. Once I made the choice for myself to stop cursing, sound like a daggum drug addict. Once I made the choice to stop drinking, no, I'm joking. Once I made the choice to stop cursing, I realized that you could belittle people with words in a way that makes them think. Mm-hmm. And by the time they really understood that you have degraded them, it's weeks later and you're no longer.
You already done left. Yeah, you done already.
But the fear aspect of these things is the fact that we cursed in front of our mothers, thinking we were going to get our butts whooped. So cursing in front of our parents, we weren't supposed to do. Now, mind you, I say in front of our parents. That's not in front of friends and away from parents, because parents don't really realize your kid is not learning from what you say. They're watching you.
Yes. Everything that you do.
Yes, they're watching everything. And they're watching the person you are to become the person that they need to be, but they only see it from the aspect of their thumbprint, which is their birth chart. Their universal thumbprint. So
yeah, because I would honestly say I caught my daughter, mimicking some stuff that I either said or did. I was like, oh.
Yes, you will.
Oh, I said, baby, don't say I do that. Mommy wrong for that. Thank you for showing that to mommy though. Letting mommy know that I need to quit doing that. So, but I ain't gonna hold you, sis. Sometimes it'd be so funny.
It is funny.
It'd be cute how she do it. It'd be so funny. Like I can't even get mad, but I can't
because she thinks what she's doing is okay because she's seen you do it. And so that's why I never understood, why do parents whoop their children for cursing when that's all you do around them?
That's all you do. Yeah.
You can't expect your child to be better than you until you better yourself.
There you go. I don't even get mad.
So once you learn how to deal with fear, you can teach your child how to deal with fear. And then I think in that retrospect, we won't have so many bullying issues.
There you go, sis.
I can talk to my parents. I can tell my parents that, this person really scares me. And if my parents can protect me, but they have to feel protected.
Yes.
If they don't feel like you're going to protect them, that fear is just going to harbor.
Yes.
And what they do is going to be the understood version of how they logically came to a conclusion of what they needed to do for themselves.
I agree to that, sis.
So when fear touches you, it's okay to stop for a minute. Contemplate what the fear is, and why are you scared of it?
Yeah, like what was the beginning of it? Where did it start? Like start dissecting.
Yes.
Why are you afraid of it? Once you do that, you'll start to see like, oh, okay, I was scared of nothing this whole time.
Yeah, because think about it. If we're all just big kids, because that's what I say, adults.
Yeah, that's all we did. We just stretched.
Yes. Your avatar stretched. Your kid isn't grown inside of you until you go back and grow the child up. Okay, grow your kid up. And if you can grow up your child inside you, that means that you have to figure out where your fear stems from, where any pain, any hurt, any trauma, any triggers, because triggers are your problem to deal with. They're not anybody else's problem to deal with. So when I hear people say, well, you triggered me.
I don't know that.
I was supposed to read your mind. I was supposed to know that. Wrong answer. If you're triggered, you need to stop and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why? Once you come to that conclusion, then you should be able to have some answers.
Yeah, have a better understanding of self.
But at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that can
happen? You evolve. You elevate to the next level.
As an adult. So this was my whole thing when I became an adult, okay? I never stayed with myself for a long time. And then I got kids that needed to, I left my parents' house and I moved into me and my husband's house.
Right.
And then I had kids. And then when I decided to leave after X amount of years, I had never had alone time with myself, you see?
Got you.
And then I have kids and I have to be the one to protect them, because most women look at the man to be the protector.
Nah, sis. Nah, sis. Nah.
That's another conversation.
My child father had told me, you know what, out of me and you be the one that go off the handle for our daughter. You damn right I would.
I understand that.
I definitely would.
I understand that.
I definitely would.
I understand that. But I had to be the protector of the home. That meant I had to be able to walk around that house in the dark and not be scared. That meant that I had to be able to navigate that house when there was a strange noise so that my kids wouldn't be scared.
That's exactly what I'm going through.
Oh, I know. Ooh,
I told you about the attic situation.
yeah.
I have passed it though. I can go back up there just fine.
All I told myself was if somebody's in the house, we're just gonna tussle.
That's it, because I'm gonna win.
And in retrospect, the worst thing that can happen is that I don't make it. Okay. But if that's the worst thing that's going to happen, and finding spirituality and then knowing that reincarnation really does happen, although we don't come back in the same avatar that we were in, what am I scared of?
There's really nothing to be. And then when you look at it, it says your fears. There's something you have to tap into when you face your fears. When you talk about the pearls and the diamonds, and there's something in there you're supposed to get.
Oh, yeah.
When you face it, look that thing in the eye.
Through being homeless, sometimes fear is blinding. And when I say blinding, I literally mean blinding.
Explain it.
Means that you could be so scared in one moment that you literally go blind.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Just because it's the thought of what you think is going to happen. It's not the actual happening of it. It's the thought of it happening which scares you the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Put yourself through it if it's not going to kill you.
If you're thinking that strongly, sis, because your thoughts are powerful.
It happened. It really did happen. We were living in a hotel. I was already beating myself up because how did I get here? You see what I'm saying? I work. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. How did I get in this position? Why am I here? Why is this happening to me? And after living in that hotel and then living in two of my cars, now I will say that fear going through it in the initial, yeah, I beat myself up. So the fear is that I tore myself down. I'm not a good mom. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. I can't provide for my kids. I can't this. I never ever blamed the fathers in the situation because they were null and void. I never blamed the person who actually put me there. I never blamed them per se. It was like, why would you do this to me? And I'm just trying to provide for my children. And it hurt because I've got 3 beautiful daughters.
She does. Really.
And to be in that situation was daunting. But what I can say is the last time we were put out and we had to live in our car, we chose to live in our car. And I sat down, and at this time, 2 of my daughters are gone because I couldn't see myself keep putting them into this situation. And one of my daughters was with me, and I had 2 jobs.
You was doing the damn thing.
I think at one time I was working 2 jobs and going to school, and I was still homeless. And another time I was working 1 job and she was working. But at that point I had got a raise. All the jobs didn't need, but it still wasn't no way of getting around the situation. So I told her, I said, instead of us living in a hotel, which basically drains your whole bank account.
Trust me, I know.
I asked her, I said, can we work, save money, stay in a hotel on the weekends? And so we worked out a pattern so that we could actually keep money without exhausting money to keep us in the cycle we have been put in. And so when I share this, I want people to know whatever you're going through, you can get through.
You definitely can.
Lay the fear aside.
You definitely can.
I understand the fear of being homeless because protection is something that we believe that our doors and locks actually protect us.
Not necessarily, but it's just
Not understanding it's a
a-
barrier.
yes,
Yes,
that's
but you
it.
have that barrier in a car.
Yes, you
You
do.
know, and I do understand that there are people out there that are homeless that don't live in their cars. I understand that there are some that are homeless living
Yeah.
in, very stretched situations.
Yes,
But I learned a big lesson.
I love that, sis.
And the biggest lesson I could have learned at that point in time was you don't need all the things in your life that you think you do. And that's why I talk a lot about necessities versus want. And a lot of people, especially here in America, we think that air conditioning and electricity and running water, we think these things are supposed to happen.
It's a luxury. It is a
Say that
luxury.
again
It's
for
a
the people
luxury.
in the back that didn't hear.
It's a luxury because right now I'm gonna be real with you. I don't have AC right now. I'm be told, and I'm fine. I haven't had it this
Yeah.
entire
Love being over here because it is warm.
entire summer. It feel like I'm outside all the time. I'm fine with it, and we're fine with it. And I notice this, without AC, I've had more money in my pocket.
Of course.
When you become more self-sufficient, I don't pay nobody to cut my grass. I do it by myself. More money in my pocket. I do everything myself to make sure that I have a flow for me and my daughter.
Yes.
And like she said, it teaches you don't need a lot of stuff. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Most people be like, "Why are you getting rid of that?" I don't
need it.
I
It's
don't
clutter.
need it. I don't
and
need
too
it.
much clutter in
Way
a
too much.
house.
That makes my ass itch. I can't do all of that, sis. That's the time I would put that T on that end. I don't like it. My Virgo placements will not have it.
Right.
And I would say one of my biggest fears, throughout my life, and I've overcame it, was the fear of failure.
You can't fail.
But yeah, I remember we were talking about that. It's a lesson. I had to learn that for myself, Am I failing, or is this a lesson that I need to learn? I had to stop saying that word first. It's not a fail, it's a lesson. What am I supposed to get out of this lesson? And get the lesson, learn it, move forward. Like this right here, I was telling sis, you couldn't pay me to get up here and do no public speaking, babe. Okay. Okay. When sis talk about, less bullying and stuff back then, kids was ruthless. Okay, sis.
When I was coming up, there was no such thing as bullying.
I had it, honey. They bullied my.
When I say there was no such thing as bullying, it didn't have a label. Okay.
Yeah.
We just dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I don't know how all kids did. Like I said, I grew up in DOD schools, so.
Well, with me, sis, it's like they would pick on me, but it was never one of those come to my face or start anything. I just let you do it because you didn't put your hands on me or nothing like that. The moment you put your hands on me, be prepared to scrap. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Be prepared to scrap. Other than that, I had to get rid of those fears in order to do what we're doing now and grow that kid up and let her know it's okay. You got people who are your soul tribe, who your spirit family. We're here to support you. We're doing this together.
You do have to understand, once you understand fear, failure, then when you see the people around you that have it, you start to want to kind of move away from it. For the simple fact is, and this is why they tell you, the more you grow, the more you start to move away from people, or they start to move away from you.
Yeah.
Is because that mind state is natural. So when that mind state is natural, you'll slide back into that easily when you're trying to change
it's a comfort zone.
You can't fail at this. There is no stipulation to life. There are no rules to life on how you're supposed to live it. Each individual has a makeup, not a genetic makeup from your mom and dad, but you have a universal makeup of who you are and the way you want to live and the lifestyle that you want for you. But because we grew up in the 80s, 90s, what the baby boomers taught us was material. We went through the material age. Material was how people seen that you had. Well, why do we want people to see that I have anything? Why is it any of their business?
I used to say this, sis. Why would you want to do that? You asking to get robbed.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Why are we? So for those people who do have the money and can do this, then you have your own fears. There's another fear, because when people have a lot of money, the fear of losing that money, because it comes quick and it can go quick. The fear of losing that money is just as bad as the fear of not having money, because losing money can break you to that.
Yes.
But if you've got a lot of money to the point where you're in the high millions, low billions, and you're still squinching on money, and when they start to see that money leave, it starts to leave in big bulks. The more money you have, the bigger it leaves.
Yeah.
It leaves quick. So why would you, one, want to exploit that? But two, if you do look at some of your billionaires that are up there, what are they doing positive with their money outside of telling us that they're doing something positive and writing it off on their taxes and getting it back? Or are they just sliding it into accounts in places that they think we don't know about and holding on to it there? If they want all the money, and this is where we need society to understand, if money is what they want and we give them all the money, you can't do nothing with something that's not circulating. All our fears, and I really want you to take the time to sit down and pinpoint most of your fears. And if most of your fears is around money, there is a solution. Now, I do understand that there are other things that happen to other people in their lives that give them fear.
Right.
If you are experiencing those fears, I may or may not be able to talk you through it. Some of those deep, dark things that people have been through, you will have to contemplate and get yourself through it.
Yeah.
Because there are still diamonds and pearls with a key attached to the end.
It might sound fucked up. But it's the truth, though.
Yes.
It's the truth. And I say that's where a lot of power. Think of it as a game. You playing a game and you go into this level, but in this level, you got to retrieve this item. But it's the toughest one. But when you get this, you about to be this phenomenal ass player.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And when you're ready, face that thing in the face.
Yes.
And let them take it by the throat if you want to. Do it like this and shove it up against the wall. You are the one that's in control of that. Don't let it take control of you, because it limits you from getting where you want to be. What are your ambitions in life? What is it that you want to do? When you face these fears, you get out of your comfort zone, you're able to elevate to the next level. And when you do, you can go back and look and be like, man, I was afraid of nothing, but I needed that to elevate myself, to make me stronger. And who knows, your story could be helpful to someone else.
Yes.
I.e., this is why we're doing this.
Yes.
Sharing our story to help the rest of the population.
Yeah. We've not gone through anything that other people haven't gone through. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when we're going through the bulk of our problems, other people are going through the exact same thing. It just looks a different way.
Mm-hmm. I notice a lot of people compare that to, sis, each other fears and what you're going through. What does that matter?
You can't
do that.
You can't. Fear is fear. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Fear is fear. Like I remember, at one time I was like, I'm pretty sure when a soldier comes up against that bullet, even if they don't believe in God, they pray.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So fear is definitely one of those things that is apprehensive, but you can get yourself through it without the negatives.
Yes. What are some fears do you think that are most common? Because I do hear a lot of people are afraid to lose people. You know how you be in that long relationship, the fear of losing someone.
So then if you have that fear, I would tell you to sit and contemplate losing them. and go ahead and pull it in now. It's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you go first or they go first, you're going to lose them. I almost lost a child a few times. And right after her birth. And that type of fear, I was able to rationalize that fear by saying, first of all, I don't think at the time it was God for me. I don't think that God would give me something so precious to take it away from me so soon. And once that resonated through my body, I know it resonated now, but then it was just a feeling that I had, and she started to get better. And I've been through situations with her often where she was hospitalized. The one time was she was 7, turning 8. And she was hospitalized for 6 months, and they didn't know if they were going to be able to save her. And we were on the hematology ward or the cancer ward for kids. And I remember the doctor saying that if anything else happened, that they didn't know if they were going to be able to save her. And at that moment, you're sitting there and you're like, you're looking at this child and you're looking at him and you're saying, you've been through everything.
Yeah.
And you fought the hardest. But there are people in this ward who are looking at their kids and their kids are literally on their last breath. And that helped me to understand that I'm not as bad off as I think I am in this time frame.
Yep.
She's still breathing, although her temperature was hitting 105 or 104, 104 point, and it was getting close to 105. And every night for about 3 days, they had to wrap her in ice sheets to get her temperature to come down, because at 105, the brain starts to boil. And so I've been through, man, when I say I've been through some stuff.
I do want to ask, I'm gonna get off topic real quick. Do you think she had like a spiritual experience in that moment? Because a lot of people I've heard.
She can't remember any of it. When I talked to her about a lot of this, even though she was 7 and 8 in the hospital, she had been in and out of the hospital from 3 days after birth. Okay. Yeah. So if I talk to her about any of that, she'll tell me, I don't remember any of that.
It's kind of like when my mom told me I had a seizure when I was young. It was a really bad one too. And she said, they put that big old needle in your back. And I was like, I don't remember none of that.
Oh, what, they put a needle in your back?
I had a allergic reaction. She had wash my clothes, and I guess it was mold on it. And I had a very bad allergic reaction. And then, I had a seizure. I was allergic to everything.
So
they
was
had
I.
a list of things that I was allergic to.
Yeah, so was I.
I don't remember none of that.
I remember, so it's funny because I remember being in diapers, but we're not gonna talk about that. My daughter, but my daughter at the time, so later on, matter of fact, just recently I was reading through something, and I want to say it's either her zodiac sign. Yeah, I want to say it's her sun sign. This one book that I have tells you certain things that you'll go through. And as a child, for her, I believe it was her sun sign. I'll go back and double check to give you that information.
Okay.
It said that she would go through some things. And I was like, that's interesting, because she definitely did go through some things. And I went through it with her. But yeah, I just said that there's a woman that is praying over her child because her child is almost on their last breath, and my child we're fighting through.
Yeah.
But I never allowed myself to believe that she wasn't going to live. I don't care what no doctor said.
And he told you the truth. They didn't know, because doctors
they don't
know what was taught to them.
Well, and then this was funny, because I started teaching myself the things that I needed to be able to keep up with who she was. And I basically went through med school while she was in the hospital.
Pretty much, you have to.
You see what I'm saying? So it got to the point where when we moved and she went to another hospital, one of her doctors was like, how come you're not a doctor? And I looked at that woman and I said, because I never said I wanted to be.
Yeah, I know that's right, sis.
I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a doctor. That didn't look appealing. Sis. Don't get me wrong. I like to see how things work and tinker and this and that and other, but you're talking about somebody who don't even believe in doctors.
That part. That part.
Because, and this is the whole thing. Through my daughter's journey, I watched them put her on the wrong medication.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
watched them stunt her growth. I watched them, I read a doctor's notes and he said she had a twin sister.
what? What made him say that?
And I was like, I didn't give birth to 2 kids at one time. Not 5 minutes apart, not 2 seconds apart. My daughters are 2 years apart.
This your face.
What do you mean twin? Her twin sister. Like, honestly, if I would have thought about it at the time and it must have not been for me, I could have sued him for malpractice because that doctor truly did some work on my daughter, you know.
See a lot of that in the media with these doctors, man.
Yes. And the fact that as melanated people, we're living a colorless plan. Now, let that sink in. So with all of the stigmatas of Black people with diabetes, Black people with lupus, Black people with autoimmune disorders or deficiencies and high blood pressures and all of this is because we're living a colorless man's plan. And I'm not being funny.
It's serious.
I'm not. We are all human, so we go through our fears, but them putting the fear in us is based off of their fear, not based off of ours, and we keep following that plan. When do we start realizing that? Why is our skin dark? It's dark because we need the sun. So you won't have to fear a lot of your medical conditions if you really sit back and you understand our bodies are strong.
Come on now, because that whole thing with the fear of being in the sun too long, get out of here.
So none of us died when we were working in the plantations in the field.
We were dark.
We were dark, but we didn't die from skin cancer.
We didn't.
And anyways, cancer is anger pent up in the body. And what I will do is find out what fear looks like pent up in the body. Because what I'm starting to realize is that fear, anger, these negative emotional energetic understandings that we harbor inside of us as we get older without releasing them, we harbor them and they look like illnesses in the body.
And would you say, because I don't mean to talk about the elderly
You're good.
people, I mean, well, guys, but I would see them and I would see a lot of them, you know, they have a hard time moving their bodies, you know, backs be hunched over. And I used to be able to do all of this, and then they'll share all that.
Okay, I met a guy who was 74 years old. He said, I run every day. I still do my exercise. I still move like I was young.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that there are people who have a fear of getting old, okay? But that fear they never sit and contemplate it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't sit and contemplate that fear, as you watched everybody else around you, you get to a certain age and you start telling or asking people around you, can you hand me that? Can you grab this? That's where it starts. Can you get this? Can you do that? Especially once you have kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You stop utilizing your body the way you did when you was younger. And think about it. When babies are born, their bodies aren't really as immune. They're not as they haven't been here long enough.
They have to be developed.
Yeah, they're not as developed in this earth. So gravity hasn't started tightening up their muscles. So they're very flexible. I had to find that out. My daughter slammed her thumb in a really heavy industrial door in the back part of it. And then as soon as the door closed, it automatically locked. Oh yeah, I've been through some things. If y'all want stories, we could do story time.
Please.
I
love story time.
Some things.
We can share story time.
Me going through these things at the time was a lot of fear because I had no clue what it was. Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? Oh my gosh. And it seemed like it was one thing after another thing, after another thing, after another thing. And what I realized is that it was just to grow me up. It was to teach me
how she found the lesson in that.
And at the end of the day, there's nothing to fear. If it's the loss of money, set your money aside pull it out the account, put it somewhere where you can't see it, and act like you don't have money for a while. You have to conquer your fear if it's not going to kill you. Because even death isn't worth being scared over.
We talked about that too. There's nothing to be feared for. Death is a transition.
If you read your Bible, or any book of a religious understandings, there's nothing to be scared of. Scared people are people who can be easily manipulated.
Yes. And that's probably why a lot of us, went through the whole rapture thing, neither here or there.
You think they were scared? I think they were just, and I'm using this word according to its definition, ignorant.
Can ignorance and fear go hand in hand, though?
Well, ignorance is the lack of knowledge. So of course, if you lack knowledge in anything, it will cause you fear. It could cause you fear. But their ignorance stemmed from them not reading a book that was already presented in front of them. So it could also be negligence because you did yourself a disservice by not reading something and you let somebody else interpret it. But it's also a way of being easily manipulated. So yes, there are books that easily manipulate due to fear. And all you have to do is scare the masses, and then the masses start walking all in the same way until you get that one person who's looking like, why are we all going this way? What's the point? And most people, if you get in the middle, you're not at the head. Say it's millions of people walking and everybody's just walking straight ahead. You get in the middle and you say, well, why is everybody walking? Kind of like in Forrest Gump. Why was everybody following him while he was running? They were just following him.
Yeah.
Okay. So the blind will lead the blind into the depths of a fear-mongered, understood lifestyle if you don't know who you are.
Come on, sis.
It's easy. It's easy to come on these videos and tell you to do this, and this with ill intentions to manipulate the masses. It's been done for decades.
It has. It's a pattern, guys.
It happens in the news. If you're one of those people who have to see what's going on in the news, oh my God, such and such and da-da-da, and this person and blah, 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 and oh my God, this is this and that's that. And the next thing you know, you're on the phone and you're blah, 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 blah. And then they're on the phone with somebody else and this blah, 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 blah. Nobody's trying to find a solution to the problem, but they've already passed fear from TV, from them, all the way down to all of their friends.
Domino effect, baby.
Yes. Fear is easy to manipulate the masses. Why do we live in HOAs? Because we all want to live like the Lorax.
Yeah.
In the Needville, where everything looks the same.
Movie. You guys should
we got plastic grass and plastic this and plastic that. And we're looking around and yes, it looks clean and pristine. And we all look like we're living cookie cutter. We're not cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. I don't look like sis. Sis don't look like me, but I'll tell you this, we're still human. And it's not about what you look like. It's just know that we are all in the same boat at this time.
It's a people thing now. It's a us thing.
While people are still talking about slavery, stop for a moment and realize we're all in America. We're all in that boat right now. All of us. It don't matter your color.
And I bet y'all didn't know there was a tsunami or a hurricane that hit Alaska last night. I bet you nobody knew that. Imagine how those people are feeling right now. This is a us
fear
now. This is a us
fear. Now, I'm not going to say if I was in Alaska and I know it was about time to get cold, I would have some problems. I would have some problems, but I would just tell the creator, if you didn't take me out of my sleep, what are you doing this for? Me and my daughter have been going through this. We have been watching this show called Invasion.
I remember you telling me about that.
And we have to understand, one, that we control the things that go on, but the earth has more control over itself. It is a living organism.
Yes.
We failed to protect the earth. We failed to do, according to the Bible, and most of your religious sources, we failed to do the very thing we were put here to do.
Now she just washing you off. That's it. She's doing a clean sweep now. She's sick of it. Okay.
She does this often, though.
Yes.
She does this often, but we were supposed to govern the fowl of the earth. We were supposed to, it didn't say eat.
No, it didn't.
It said we were supposed to name them and we were supposed to govern over them. And if you ate them, you should be as understanding to what you're doing. I never seen, like, when you're not brought up with these informations. You see what I'm saying? But fear in an animal and you eating that meat, fear is energetic.
I know this is off topic, but it's one thing that I always said. I ain't never seen nothing about no apple in the Bible. I just saw a fruit. Eve ate the fruit off the tree. That's what I saw. I didn't see. So where did we get the apple?
I want to say maybe in the King James Version there was an apple. I have no clue. Like I told you, I've been trying to decipher some of that, and I did decipher the Adam and Eve, but that's about it. But fear in an animal puts fear in our bodies.
You take on that energy.
And if you think about how our food in the United States is killed, slaughtered, that's what they call it. It's slaughtered. There's nothing nice about that.
I'm telling y'all, my child's father, he showed me a video as to how they slaughtered the cow.
No.
Oh my God, y'all. When I saw that, I was like, oh no, I'm never eating beef again.
So
never.
Let me help you out.
Nah.
When I moved over to Islam, out of the 3 monotheistic faiths, only 2 of them eat kosher food.
Okay.
Judaism and Islam. In America, we're sloppy.
But
we'll talk about that.
Yes, we are. We are very.
So when I became Muslim and I learned about halal food, it's putting the animal in a meditative state through prayer or positive song. Excuse me, they become very docile. They lay back. It tells you this in the Bible. 1 swipe to the jugular so they bleed out clean, not clear.
Because at that moment, they're literally offering.
Yes, they're offering themselves to you. In the way that we slaughter our meat, there's fear. When fear hits the body tenses up.
That energy goes into
and that energy, it's actually endorphins that the body starts to send out. And once those endorphins go through the body, it's toxic.
Yeah, at that point.
And we consume this.
This is why I seen that video. He was saying, it was a video. The gentleman was talking about how the athletes would eat all this meat. And, like he was saying, we slaughter our meat. They, the fear in the animal and everything and all the aggressiveness. Now those athletes have taken on that now. That's why you see them so like aggressive and stuff like that. I was like, well, that makes
could be. It definitely could be.
Makes sense to me.
It could be steroids. It could be a lot of things.
Could be a combination.
It could definitely be a lot of things, but we have to understand that there is a positive way of doing things. And what we did was, I remember there was a time where Americans would turn their noses up to people who were in third world countries.
Yes, some of y'all still do.
Because they don't have
what we have, per se, almost.
Yeah, what we have. It's not put together pretty. They have what we have because they have homes. What their homes are made out of and what they live, in Africa, they live in mud huts. I've seen that.
With nature.
I think that is amazing.
It is. They in touch with nature.
I think that is absolutely amazing because the earth is supposed to provide for us instead of us chopping down the trees and then turning them to chipwood and then pressing it together and then putting it in a home and then termites get in it and eat it. A mud hut is amazing. I've seen one African tribe or countrymen, because they call it the country. They dirt their floors and sweep it down, and I'm just like,
They're in touch with nature.
So
for
why are
sure.
we trying to be so bougie?
Well, somebody sold a false dream, and we, as a whole, chased that thing.
I guess some of us didn't have a choice. Some of our ancestors was just here. Now, whether they had a choice in it or not, they're here. And so we grew up this way. It doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong for some people, but for some of us, what I'm saying is that fear will cause you to complain.
Yes, yes. And then if you think about it, sis, of course they're gonna show you what they want you to see. They're not gonna show you the lavishness of their country. They don't want you to see that. They don't want that. They want you to see this part. You know those commercials with the kids in the eyes of an angel. They got that, and they got that for the animals and stuff.
So yes, they
So,
do
yeah.
have those parts of the countries.
Mhm.
I've been in some countries that do
Very
have
beautiful.
that, have those depictions. But remember, a picture taken at the right view and put in the right type of music and perspective, you'll think that these kids are starving. So when we talk about the fear of no food, why is there no food? People who live in desert areas understand that area.
Mhm.
But when the colonizers start going through and telling them we're going to provide food for you, you don't have to grow anything. Of course, at one point it sounded great. You're going to give us what we need. We're going to do this. And it sounds beautiful until you start to realize that they're only going to give you rice and barley. And then that's all that you have to eat, no sustenance, but we're feeding you. Okay. And at that rate, we're feeding you so we can get these pictures so that we can make these people over here think that you don't have money so they can put the money in this foundation, which you'll never see, but we're going to give you rice and barley. We have to, and this is the whole point of waking up, release the fear so we can wake up from the illusion that somebody else built that we bought into. And it's like looking at the man and, oh, he looks nice, so I can talk to him, and he's somebody that isn't so nice.
It's true.
You have to learn to be able to see past the illusion. If you're caught in the web of society and you're caught inside of yourself, oh, I don't have money, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do, think about the harm. Once you do harm to somebody because society puts you in a pinch and you don't have what you need, you create karma by doing something negative to somebody else.
That because it's gonna come right back to you 10 times.
But I feel like the person that's starving, if they and their family is starving, if you're feeding your kids and you're stealing food, but you're not doing no harm, are we supposed to let them starve? You put them in jail to put their kids in the system, and then their kids are raped, abused, because these kids are not put into sound homes. They're kept in poverty. So maybe it's time for us to rethink the lives that we're actually living. Because if you want a better life and I want a better life, and we start working together to build a mentally better life, we start to get to see a 3D better life.
There you go. Come on.
Will fear stop you in your tracks? Yeah.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You're not going to elevate.
Push towards it.
Dude, look at it. Like I said, look at that thing in the face. I'm the boss.
No cold bread for you.
Exactly.
For real though. Take fear. We all go through it.
We do.
Make it a game.
Yes.
Fight through it.
Yes.
Sit down, contemplate it, understand it. Why am I scared of it? That's the first thing. Why am I scared of being without? Especially if it's something I really don't need. Because like sis said, she hasn't had air conditioning the whole summer. She's not once complained. I've not heard her fall out and cry. But you have some women and men that would curse, fall out, cry, act funny, do all these different things when all you have to do is just, there's no air. Last summer, we were without air. Everybody was complaining.
It's air outside, sis.
I was comfortable. I was like, at least I don't have to sleep in a scully and a t-shirt, I mean, in a hoodie and sweatpants.
Because I look at it like this. Why am I complaining about it? It's people that's living under a bridge right now. It's people who are actually living in their cars right now. I look selfish as hell up here crying about freaking AC.
People don't think about that though. It's a me world. We live in a me materialistic world.
I like how you said that.
But as soon as me becomes put in a crunch, we think everybody's supposed to think about us.
Yeah, the world's supposed to stop and breathe
Yes.
around them. Oh
Yes.
no, that's
The
not.
world's supposed to stop, and all of our sons is supposed to revolve around them.
Let's
No.
take a look at this person. Guys, come join.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's not.
Yeah.
It's a time where you have to reflect, regrip, and regroup.
Remember what she said now.
Reflect, regrip, and regroup. And the reason why is because your world is not going to fall apart.
It's not.
There's no such thing as failure because there's really no such thing as success.
It's not.
Not in a material world.
No, it's not.
Although we put value on success, meaning that you have to make X amount of dollars and you have to do these prestigious things, who's really doing them?
What is success for you?
Yes.
Let's look at it like that.
Yeah.
I got my whole bachelor's degree in supply chain logistics. Not many people know that. I didn't go boasting around because that was my success for me.
Yes.
I celebrated that for me. We're in a school right now. That's what we are. We're in
Yes.
earth school right now. And everything that we're doing is supposed to happen. You're supposed to go through it to elevate. It ain't supposed to keep you there to be like, oh,
The
well.
only thing that you can do is
Yeah.
hold yourself back from
Yes.
that which you are supposed to be
Yeah.
here for.
Yes. Yes.
And if you get tied in the web of society and fear holds you back, or whatever happens, or you use your gifts for negative versus positive, then you leave this earth and you come
You
back
can do it again.
with lack.
You're gonna do that again.
Our happiness has been connected to money.
Yes, and I like how you also said, sis, you know, when people say I love you because.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that you said that. That thought came to mind too
Yes.
as well.
There are all our substance has to do with money and the circulation of the money and the money being in the bank and this and that and other and blah 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 and this and that and the third, right? But you need to find out the histories of school, money, church, banks. All of this was to keep us exactly where we are.
That sounds like I'm at a river dock right now. Thanks. Currency.
Yes. Yes.
Ships.
Yes. And all our self-worth we put on a dollar bill.
Thank God.
And most people will tell you that your life is worth more than money. But I beg to differ. Because if you come up against the right person who has a lot of money and they feel like they want you, they'll put a price tag on it. And if it's big enough, because from what I understand, the price tag is $10,000. And for people on the side of money that is in lack, $10,000 is a lot.
Remember you were sharing that episode is it Invasion? You were sharing the episode about the couple when they were buying the kids or something like that to make their business run, sis? Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was not Invasion.
Okay,
that was
that's
not
another
Invasion.
one.
That
Okay,
was
okay.
another one. Yes.
Okay.
The lady, her husband it's a show, I can't remember the name of it. Truth Be Told.
Okay.
It's on
Is that on Prime?
it's on
sister?
Prime.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was a episode, not just an episode, it's a season, but there was rich people. Well, they weren't rich. They were rich, but they weren't rich. So let's say they
just
were
comfortable.
high middle class or comfortable
Mm.
that were starting a tech business. And he didn't have investors. And he had been trying to get investors. The man who started this business been trying to get investors. He from what I got out of it, because they didn't go into grave detail, he didn't really look at his wife as somebody who could
Help them run a business or something?
yeah, he looked at her, he knew she was capable of stuff, It wasn't like he was trying to diminish her, but to her, the way it sounded when it came out of his mouth, he was diminishing her. But she got him investors through trafficking young boys and young girls. And if you don't think that this stuff is happening now, it is. It's been happening. It's always been happening. It's just that it's not in our vision. And because we can't see it, we think that it's something up on TV.
Yeah.
But although it's entertainment, there is truth in everything.
Yes,
There's truth in
somebody's
everything.
going
There's
through this
truth in
right now.
everything. We didn't just make it up. It's
Yeah.
truth in everything
Yes.
in some way, shape, or form. It might be that it's just distorted or elaborated so they can give a good story on TV, but this is really happening. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is a tool that is used for evil because people want to benefit materially off of what it is, material gains. But money has also taken the place of power because a rich man doesn't have to follow the rules like the poor man does. And although they show you on TV and they try to exploit the person and say, well, he's this, he's that, he's the other, there was somebody richer than him.
I watch too much true crime to say, yep, because boy, when I tell you some of y'all need to be behind bars.
Not some of them, most of them.
Because you're right.
Because
you can pay your way out.
Yeah.
And now
you
ain't, don't worry though, you ain't gonna
think about the history of the United States. It was stolen. That was crime already.
Yep.
They killed a lot of the people who were already here.
Mass
Crime on top of crime on top of crime. And the people who came here were not the best coming from their countries. So crime on top of crime, on top of crime, on top of crime. And now all we have to do is cover it up with the illusion of this, and this. Keep them too busy to think and see the things that we do. So fear is keeping you busy.
Like a mug, keeping you distracted. While in the background, they brewing something else. But don't worry, Age of Aquarius doing like this right here, pulling that thing down.
Ooh, slowly but surely.
Yes.
So this is not a time for you to fear. This is a time for you to understand. I need to get my fears under control.
Yes.
I need to slow down my spending in certain areas. It's time for us to buy. For the ones who want to break away, it's time for you to buy seeds and start believing that you have a green thumb, even if you've never grown anything in your whole entire life.
Even if you kill them the first 3 times, keep trying.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Right.
Think about it like this. Shove it in the ground. Ask Spirit to help you, guide you, help make me understand. Give my plants some water. Give them what they need, and let's watch them flourish. Most of the time, we hover. We stick it in the ground and go back.
Yeah.
It's not growing yet.
Yeah.
We go back. And then we go back. It's not growing.
That Peppa Pig episode.
It's not going to grow right there in your face. Give it a break. Know in your heart, know within yourself that it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. I am going to do the best that I can to make it through any situation, no matter how difficult that situation is. I am going to survive because this is what I used to tell myself as a kid. All I'm going to do is go to sleep, wake up, and it's going to be a whole new day.
Yes.
And you can either let yesterday's problems beat you up on today's new understanding, or you can let yesterday's problems be yesterday's problems. Or you can sit and you can figure out those problems and find yourself a solution.
Yes, yes.
And you don't need to go talking to everybody.
No, not
because even those that are praying for you ain't always praying for you with good intentions.
Because they could be the ones praying for your downfall.
They really could.
Yeah, 2 things, family. Another thing you can do to break away. Use your fear as art. Some of the best artists have some of the most amazing pieces, and they're expressing their emotions through their art. Do that. That's a good way too. I love art. Art expresses everything. It was another thing I had to say, but I forgot just that fast because I was thinking about art. And I sit around and I just do art.
Yes.
Stuff like
Hold
that.
on. Okay. Because as soon as she makes this candle, I'm going to get it because I love different creative, beautiful things. And my sis has come up with this.
Yes. Yes.
And although this is her prototype, I will be taking this home.
I told you to take
Because
it.
this is going to be a book stand holder for me. This is amazing.
Look at it now, because this is what you see right now.
If she has not shown her candles, she needs to start putting them up underneath our thing so that you all have access to them.
I do.
Because we should try to do, we're doing altars.
Yes, yeah.
And then we should talk about candle magic.
Yes. And you know what? I would definitely love to do that. You know, I got a bunch of candles that will work perfectly.
Boy, does she only know she gonna be pulling out all kinds of candles.
Oh, I am. I have a whole bunch of them already on sale already. So I'll make sure I post it down below. I will.
Because you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, I am. It's a learning process.
It's okay.
See,
look,
I'm learning too.
Be the first ones to get a perfectly imperfect candle.
Yes.
Because if you're looking for perfection, I'm gonna tell you there's always illusion in perfection. There really is.
It is.
I am the perfect illusionist. So therefore, I know how much illusion is out there.
Yes.
But can you see it?
Yes, you have to see it, family.
So it's time for you to sit with your fear. Understand it. Conquer it for yourself. Nobody else can help you conquer this because the feeling within you is different from the feeling within me. And where your fear stems from is different from where my fear stems from. But I will tell you, once you conquer your fears, you won't be worried about anything.
Oh, it's so empowering. It is so empowering. Oh my God. Another way, journal this stuff. Have a conference meeting with yourself.
I like that. Have a whole conference meeting. See each one of the versions of you down around the round table or the long square table.
Yeah, one of y'all have some paper and just.
That's it. Everything happens in my head.
It starts here, but I gotta pour it out because it be so much.
That's it.
Yeah.
The only thing I need to write down is the really powerful stuff because it comes in and then it seems like it leaves, especially during certain points in my day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But do what she said. Sit down and have a whole sit down with yourself, all of yourselves. All the different versions of you. You should be able to depict each version of yourself. If you can't, then you need to learn.
You really do.
If you need to write it down, write it down. I'm an air sign in my Mercury. I talk everything through. And for me, everything is very much internal.
Yeah, I have a lot of earth. So
yes.
My air
everything for you is mainly on the outside.
Yeah.
Everything for me is internal.
Yeah.
And so you just have to find what works for you. We're here to talk to you about these things, but fear nothing.
At all. Once you face your fears too, another fear that I know a lot of people are fearful of, the unknown. When you face your fear, the unknown won't even bother.
What's the unknown when we are the creators of our reality? So what's unknown? Nothing is impossible. The only thing I hope that's impossible, and I'm going to have this conversation with y'all real quick, these alien things, I don't know if they're out there. I'm not against it. But what I am is against us inviting them here in the state we're in now. We have stagnated our mental growth and we have embellished our physical material misunderstandings. If they were to come here with ill intentions, I'm gonna tell y'all just like this, I'm gonna watch the whole earth disappear and sit back and just eat popcorn until it's my time. Because if you haven't watched Invasion, you really should. It'll make you think about some things. While we sitting up here talking about all the Anunnaki and the reptilians and the shapeshifters and the this and the that, I don't mind if they're moving around in an energetic form around us. I'm okay with the metaphysical. What I'm not okay with is something coming more complex, more understood, with more complex ways of taking our frail bodies out before we learn how to dislocate ourselves from the physical and put ourselves in the metaphysical so that whatever's coming after us, I can hop my spirit out of this body and be gone. You see what I'm saying?
Y'all asking for stuff you ain't ready for.
That's what I'm saying. And I told my daughter, I said, I really do feel like if what happened in Invasion or Independence, well, yeah, Independence Day.
Is that, hold on, I think I seen that movie.
Yeah, Independence Day had yeah, that couple that
Yeah.
I don't like bringing up actors and stuff like that. They're not really important to me, but
yeah.
If that happens, we did something wrong because God is really mad at us. Okay. So that's how I read the Bible. If you read the book of Revelations, when the horned something raises out of the ocean, yeah, he was mad at us. We did something really bad. But if you really sit down and think about it, there are people out there that are doing stuff that warrant something like that to come out the ocean and snatch them. But are you one of them? Have you done something so bad? And I'm not talking about, let's put it like this: deal with your own demons.
Oh, yeah. Some of y'all are even afraid of that.
Deal with your own demons.
Yes.
Because fear comes from those. And anybody who, I don't say if you don't have fear, you don't have a conscience. If you don't have fear in anything, you understand the pros and the cons to it, or the positives and the negatives to it.
I say they masked itself in a way.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say if I have a weapon pointed at my head, I won't be scared for a split second. But at that time in my life, I'll be like, well, if this is supposed to happen, the first thing I'm going to ask for is let there be no pain. Let there be no pain.
I agree.
Most people are worried about what the body looks like after it's gone. I'm not worried about that. I'm not even in it no more.
At all. Don't you think your Sims character thing when you log off your Sims game? It's like, oh, well.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yeah.
The energetic me has released the body and will go take a break because
about to transition to a whole nother dimension.
Like I said, once I've jumped out the body, I've already left. Yeah. I'm not sitting around waiting. That's that body. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going to take a break.
Are you going to come back for your funeral and see how it goes?
No, because the people who are in charge of that already know what I asked for. I don't want a funeral. I don't want to be put in a box.
I don't either. Cremate me.
They're coming up with more natural ways, but whether those stick around or don't stick around, cremate me and spread me. I told my daughter, say you can flush me in the toilet just because I think it's funny.
I would love to be scattered because I love waterfalls and stuff. Spread me out there.
At that moment in time, whatever you do with them ashes, I'm not there.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Yeah. Bars.
Have I found
bars?
Have I found a cool way? Yeah, there's some cool ways out there that I told my daughters that I would like for them to do with my ashes. But outside of that, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I am not there. I told if you think it's funny, just, flush me down the toilet. And I think it's funny for the simple fact most of y'all would think it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm not there. And I've always wanted to see what it looked like to be flushed down the toilet.
Now I can probably see you coming back just to see that, sis. I can see that.
For real. I have much respect for my life as the entity and the spiritual being that I am, and all the avenues that it took me to get here. But the formalities, no funeral. I told my daughter, I said, look, I need y'all to have the green stuff. I don't know if we can say that on there, but I need you to have bowls of that all over.
Oh,
do not wear black.
Ooh, I want you to wear purple.
I'm not putting a specification on what you wear, but I am saying that I don't want you to wear all black. We're not in mourning because I'm happy. Because yes, life does put us through things. And yes, we do learn from them. But do we need rest? Not just go to sleep and wake up, but real rest. Yes, we do. Will I need a break from this thing called life? Yes, I will. And I have already dealt with all of that. So because I've already dealt with it, it is what it is. The only people who are sad when somebody passes are the ones that are left behind.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That's how my cousin described it to me. You know,
Yes.
he was saying, he doesn't have that access to call his loved one now. It's not the same as picking up the phone. So makes total sense. But they're here, right here.
Yeah, they're there. And what hurts the most is all the good times, because if you think of the bad times, because everybody has every face, but when you go to a funeral, they only put the good parts out there. And
Yeah.
I don't want people lying about my life.
You sound like my grandmother right now. She said that. She said, don't get up there lying. At my funeral, you better tell them people the truth.
Yes.
Tell them the truth. Yes.
I don't get up there and tell them that I was always a great person and I always knew how to do this and she was always this and she was always that and she was all. Nah, tell them. She cussed people out.
Please.
But see, I don't want people to embellish my dark side, because I noticed that the people around me have done that.
Yeah.
They have embellished my dark side, and then they have put some of their darkness on me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them speaking. The people who will speak at anything for me will know who I truly was, all 12 of my faces.
I love how you said all 12.
Yeah, all 12
I instantly thought of the 12 houses.
So therefore, figure out what your fear is.
Please do, family.
Release your fear and find your power and move on from your circumstances. Understand that where you're at right now is exactly where you need to be.
Ashe.
And when you come to terms with that, you'll be able to move forward. Okay? But we need to learn to find happiness in self instead of finding happiness in money and material, because at that point we give other people the power.
And that's how they're able to control the masses anyway, by fear.
Yes.
Have fear. I get it. You want to look at the news and you want to, see what's going on. It's okay to want to have the current events, know what's going on, but don't get to the point where you so consumed. Now you done scared yourself so much you manifest and stuff you didn't even think you was gonna manifest.
If you believe that's life, stay away from it until you know that it's not.
Yes, have a balanced mindset, family.
Yes.
But that is all we have for you guys at this moment. Until then, family, find your light, then fix your crown, family. Peace. Love y'all so much. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more conscious talk.